No, no,
First and foremost,
you're welcome. We'll be checking some learned friends of ours that
I recommend the public secretary of the PDP.
to our latest episode on your favorite channel, the Crystal Bean Podcast. While we were preparing for today's episode, we just got the news that something happened back there in River State. Don't worry, we're going to update you with everything. So listen to this. Fubara has announced his defection to the APC. Did you hear me? I said Governor Sim Fubara of River State has announced his defection to APC. And what does that tell you? That's actually the game changer, whether you like it or not. Because if you've been following us on our page and on our TV, on our channel, you would have probably been getting updates on what's going on. We were going to discuss the issue of the assembly going on a recess till January 26th before this information came in. And then, of course, we wanted to discuss what that portends. Although I was on a TV station on Saturday and where I spoke of it, and of course, I'm going to play it for you to hear some of the my response to some of the questions, they asked. It had to do with the rivalry between the state governor and the assembly again. And people are saying, oh, is River State yet on the brink again, in the news again? But while that was still on, the governor showed up at the Aso Rock to see the president. I heard he went there in the company of the Ebonyi state governor, Governor Nwifuru. And then, of course, the details of their discussion was not made public, but people guessed that it had to do with River State, the crisis, and possibly the defection. Don't forget that most of the other governors in the South have also defected to the APC. The latest was that Bayelsa, the neighboring Bayelsa state governor, Joy Diri, who also left the PDP. And of course, you all know what's going on in the PDP. The crisis is there. Well, before Fubara's movement to Aso Rock, the 16 members out of the 31-member assembly of the River State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Martin Ameule, had defected to the APC. They announced their defection, not without endorsing Tinubu for a second term. They did that before that day, where they sang the popular Tinubu anthem, "On your mandate, we shall stand."
Distinguished colleagues, APC is my new party. I will do all that is needed to be done towards ensuring that the party card of the All Progressive Congress is issued to me in no time. But as I speak today, I am a member of the All Progressive Congress, and I'm happy to be a member of the APC so that we can join forces with Mr. President.
So let's take the story. Now, the question is this: with Fubara's defection to the APC, what does this portend? So many people are, of course, saying that with this, he's taking over the structure of the party and all that. But I can tell you that apart from this being a game changer, it also means that he's probably gotten the protection that he needs from the presidency. In announcing his official defection from the PDP to the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, that it became the culmination of his recent visit to the president and is perhaps the most significant political development since the crisis began in River State. You remember the issue of the state of emergency, the Supreme Court judgment, and all the rest. Well, the question is, how does this defection now affect what people suspected may be an impeachment threat? Recall that even before the River State House of Assembly went on their recess, they also made it clear that the governor had refused to send in a list of commissioners. And then also we understand that he failed to bring a supplementary budget for approval and insisted it would be the 2026 budget. And unfortunately, we understand that he didn't communicate to the assembly on even the reconstruction of the state assembly that was burnt down sometime ago. I mean, the chamber, not the offices anyway, because I understand work is only going on in the chamber. So, well, the assembly took that as a slight, and then also probably felt that they were being alienated by the governor. We also got reports that some persons, I mean, about 600 billion naira was left in the River State coffers by the sole administrator then, Ibas. Well, there was no official statement from the government side, I mean, government house, debunking that allegation. And then the question is, what they're going to be doing with the 600 billion naira. So these were issues tending towards what some persons described as moves, towards impeachment, because they are actually grave impeachment offenses. But anyway, the Governor Fubara decided to play the politics, even though I felt that he should have been the one to lead the pack of defectors to the APC, being the governor and being that there was a reconciliation. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Well, now that he's moved to the APC, of course, the APC constitution is very clear. It says that the governor of the state is the leader of the party. So where does that keep the Wike aligned assembly, who are using maybe the budget crisis, the alleged illegal spending as a legal basis for impeachment? Where does that keep them? Of course, it means that they have to come together. Well, the defection creates a powerful political shield that is expected to drastically cool the jets on any impeachment proceedings, though it may not stop the rhetoric entirely. Well, there's a central APC protection. That's the safety net for the governor. Yeah, it is the safety net. Don't forget, the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodimma, is the leader of the progressives, and you know how he does his things, how he plays his game. Well, let's look at it. Before the defection, Fubara was a PDP governor fighting on an APC controlled state assembly. Yeah, of course, they are Wike's men, and of course, his primary recourse was the judiciary. Well, what happens? Fubara now shares the same party platform as President Tinubu, the national leader of the APC, and the majority of the state assembly, because there are still about 10 of them who remained in the PDP, and Wike said he will continue to work with those ones in the PDP. Well, impeaching a sitting governor from the same party is an extremely rare event in Nigerian politics and is generally discouraged by the national party structure. I can tell you. Well, let's see. By joining the APC, Fubara has placed himself directly under the political protection of the presidency. The National Working Committee of the APC will be expected to step in forcefully to mediate and prevent an impeachment that would destabilize one of their newly acquired states. Don't forget that River State always plays a major role, has almost 2 million votes to deliver, has the resources, the funds. From the days of Odili to Amechi to Wike, we have always seen River State playing the national politics. They have so much money and their pocket is deep, and they're always willing and eager to release the funds needed for the national politics. So it's a win situation for the APC, for Fubara and the assembly to come in. Well, we'll still look at the legal basis, I mean, that still exists. The grave offenses, operating without a legally approved budget and alleged unauthorized spending, I mean, they don't disappear. However, the decision to act on them becomes a political choice rather than a legal imperative. Well, I'm sure that even Wike himself, who is doing so much to help President Tinubu for his second term return, will also be glad that he's been able to provide the party with a governor like Fubara of Rivers. Like I said, that has been the pattern before now. So, and then at the time when President Goodluck Jonathan wasn't in very good terms with the then governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, you saw what all that led to. Of course, that was actually the fall of Jonathan, and he couldn't return for a second term. So I think that the ultimate beneficiary of this is actually President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he's going to have Rivers in the kitty, and of course, not only Rivers with other states surrounding. Well, I think that the issue of impeachment or the governor's offenses and this thing will now be a thing of the past. It will be like go and sin no more. And I'm sure that even the assembly, the lawmakers understand this. Well, we're going to continue to look at the game, the issues, and then what may likely happen, who risks to be sanctioned or politically isolated by the national APC structure. For now, the structure is actually in the hands of Wike. Don't forget that even the chairman, the state chairman of APC in Rivers, Chief Tony Okocha, is also a known ally of Nyesom Wike. But, well, let's see how that plays out, whether it will require maybe changing the structure and handing it over to Fubara, or retaining the Okocha-led ESCO, which is seen as entirely a Wike thing. We don't know what's going to happen, but however, it means that the governor will have no choice to also work with the minister, and the minister will also have no reason not to work with the governor at a time like this. Please don't go away. I'm still coming back to continue on this conversation because it's really going to be a long one. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye. Yeah, so we're back. This is the remaining segment of today's episode on the developing story in Rivers State. Like we said, we got news that the governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, has defected to the APC and his concluded plans. And we understand that the meeting he had with the president at the Aso Rock, the presence of the governor of Ebonyi State, Nwifuru, was for a harmonious way for him to finally defect to the APC. Like the governor said in the video, if you watch it, we're going to put it up there. He said it's a sweet news, and then coming to them, he went to brief the president about happenings in the state. And then, of course, the best news so far, which is the defection. He said the PDP did not protect them. I don't know what that means, because I remember that at some point, the likes of Bala Mohammed and some other governors of PDP were all rallied around him when the issue before the state of emergency was declared, during the legal battle with the assembly, and then he now says that the party didn't protect them. Well, it's all politics. Otherwise, if we have to x-ray that, we'll say that he was not also being fair to the PDP. Well, whatever it is a matter of interest, and his interest is to protect his own interest, and whatever that means, I mean, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that he's gone to a safety net where he can at least be protected from impeachment to at least complete his tenure, while some of his supporters are saying that it's a question of 4+4. So they support Tinubu, and anywhere the Fubara goes is where they go, irrespective of whatever names they had called Wike or called the APC. And even they condemned the assembly for also defecting to the APC. Well, the truth is that as a governor, the constitution is very silent on what happens when he defects. A governor defects. It's silent about the president, the vice president, and even the governors. But it says that for lawmakers, they will have to lose their seat if they cannot provide substantial evidence that there is a division in the party. Well, for the PDP, it's a known thing. I don't know, for those who are saying there's no crisis in the PDP, even the blind can see it and the deaf can hear it loud and clear. So at the end of the day, they are all safe and they're going to be working together. And I think that aside the fact that it's going to be well, a mission accomplished for Wike to be able to work together with the state governor and deliver majority of the votes, coming to Tinubu, because he has made it clear that he's going to support Tinubu for a second term. It doesn't matter who the PDP feels, not even himself. As far as he's concerned, Tinubu remains the best thing that has happened to Nigeria. So, I mean, what it means is that they will be working together as a party. But don't think that the rivalry will go away easily like that. Remember, like I said, the assembly was not happy with the governor because of some of the spendings, without recourse to the budget and all the provisions of the budget. They were jobs being awarded to some of his allies and cronies without provisions in the budget and all that. You remember all that. So what it means is that whatever be the weapon that they would have used against him will now have to be kept under, because instead of impeachment, we should be talking of passing the budget. Of course, he's going to be protected by the APC structure. Well, much as the ultimate weapon, which is impeachment, has been set aside now, what remains is to see how both parties are going to be working together in some local government areas where the chairmen are said to be loyalists of Wike are in charge. These chairmen who were sacked by the Supreme Court, who are loyalists of the governor, there still exists a lot of rivalry. So we are waiting and watching to see how the two groups will merge. Don't forget that there's another group elsewhere, the APC led by Chief Emeka Beke, who, and the matter is still in court. Well, we don't know what will happen to that, but the bottom line is that they have gotten the governor into their kitty. Well, the lawmakers will return on January 26th, and they will come with a heavily modified agenda. Of course, like I said, it will no longer be the threat of impeachment. It will be replaced by a demand for compromise on the budget, the appointment of new commissioners, and better political accommodation for their faction within the new APC government. Wow, the story continues to develop minute by minute. I will continue to brief you, will continue to update you on inside happenings after now. Don't go away, stay with us, keep a date with us on this page. Help us to share, like, and comment so that we can continue to update you with happenings in the polity. God bless you. Bye.